It's Nate and Steve gonna talk about weed. Nate and Steve gonna talk about weed. Craig ain't here, so it's Who's Your Sophisticate in its best possible version with just Steve. And Steve's gonna talk to Nate, and it's great, and it's great, and it's great. Hey guys, what's up? Here we are. Let me go ahead and flip it over. Oh, I got that. There we are. We are on camera. I am on live. Sup, my fuckers is our first comment. It's from my guy Craig. Please welcome to a very special edition of the show, Who's Your Sophisticate, whatever we want to call this. We may put it up on the Missouri Cannabis podcast. I want to get with Nate with that anyway. But it's Nate Bullman from Nate on Cannabis. Everyone give him a round of applause.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Hold for applause. There you go. There you go. How you doing, buddy? How's quarantine treating you?
Doing pretty good, man. Hanging in there. How about yourself?
Oh, dude, I've had it. I've had it with these children. I need 5 minutes to myself. Okay? Like,
please, Lord.
God bless my wife. She works hard and she works from home. But my job is to make sure the kids aren't just constantly up her butthole. So I deal with them. They're my own kids. I need to deal with them. I need more structure with them. That's my problem. That's my biggest snafu. But I just can't get 5 minutes of peace to myself because I'm dealing with them all day and then trying to work and do all this shit that we do. And then when my wife gets off work, I want to hang out with her. So it's like, okay, we'll hang out. Well, like in the midnight hours, that's when I'm alive. You know what I mean? That's when I'm like, ooh, yeah, I'm going to go through some. I used to go through my parents' closet and shit when I was like 10. Like it's 3 a.m. No one knows what I'm doing. So I was like, all right, cool. Well, last night, my kid was up. He woke up, took a late nap. He was up till like 11. He went to sleep, and I'm like, sweet. 11:30, my wife wakes up. She's like, I can't sleep. Stays up till 1. Then my other kid's up after that. Then 3 a.m, my wife's back up. I'm like, what the fuck? You guys taking shifts? Not letting me get 5 damn minutes to myself? What's happening? So quarantine's good. I wouldn't trade it for the world, Nate. It's been amazing. Where do you live? Give me your address. I mean, not your exact address, but like what part of?
No, I am.
Give your address out. Come on, Nate.
I live at the tip of the Ozarks.
Southern, western,
northern tip.
My dude. Yeah, the northern tip.
Yeah,
is that by
Warsaw Clinton area?
Gravois Mills?
Close to it, yeah.
I gotta say that's my favorite.
Wow, who do you work for? Who's listening?
Yeah, exactly. Because we're gonna get to that. Because me and you are both. Well, I know at least me. I don't want to speak for you, but we're kind of big money cannabis media guys. Look,
yes.
you have neon lights on your wall. I have little lights hanging. We're loaded, and I just kind of want the people to know that I don't know. We're better
Just
than them.
Flex on them for a little bit.
Yeah,
for real.
Nate gets what's up. Look at them. Those are $700 headphones he has on right now, people. So don't even get it twisted.
No. That was my mother's light, by the way.
Oh,
I
yeah.
found this in a closet. I was like, that just works.
These were $3 on
Right.
you know. I'm like, here, Bezos, take all my money. Okay, we got Close to Jeff City from Grace Johns on our chat line. Greg Poehler says Nate makes my tip go north. Lance Dugan is saying what's up. Josh Loftus saying what's up, folks. And people are saying this could be a dangerous combination. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
What
Nate,
could happen?
Nate on Cannabis, I want to know what makes you tick, man. Why'd you end up getting into this crazy little community we got here in the Missouri cannabis community?
Well, I've been using cannabis for almost 25 years. But as far as like a cannabis community, I had a small circle of friends and stuff like that. But it was whenever we started getting close to passing the law, when Amendment 2 had made it on the ballot and we were getting ready to vote on it, I started joining groups, try to educate myself about what was going on, and it just kind of connected from there. First group I joined was the Missouri Cannabis Network, and that's grown pretty big since.
Dude, how awesome are Rachel and Ricky, too?
Oh, yeah. Some of my favorite people, for real.
For real. Like, I try to be a good person. It's mainly because I've done horrible shit in my past. But Ricky and Rachel and just their positive vibe, and I don't think they know how big of leaders they are in the cannabis family community, like the little grassroots social community that we got. I don't even think they know how big of a deal they are, but they're just splendid souls. Really set a tone, I think, for the Missouri market because, we're very family oriented. I feel like we're very, that's my guy over there. I'm going to try to take care of him. How would you describe the Missouri cannabis market?
The Missouri cannabis market?
Yeah, like like that's hard to say because there is none right now. How would you describe the people that make up the cannabis community here in Missouri?
Okay, it's probably some of the best people I've ever met in my life. And I'll tell you this, I have obsessive compulsive disorder. Like I'm not a people person, and I'm not a touchy person either. Cannabis people love to hug. They love to hug it out, man. And it really doesn't bother me one bit. But I remember the first event I went to, I had like 30 hugs in under an hour. And I was just like, wow, that's a lot of hugs.
I remember going to the the Grow Trade Fest, and you're like, man, kind of telling me like,
That's
hey, man, I'm good. I'm pretty good. I had no idea. You seem chill as hell. You just seem like you're kind of the dude. And you're like, man, I don't really like the crowds that much and kind of all these people. I'm like, oh, bud, just wait. You're kind of a mini celeb around here. And a hall full of people are like, Nate, is that Nate on cannabis? I'm like, good luck, buddy. Get the hell out of here. How has cannabis helped you with that? Has it helped with that kind of stuff? Like just the actual...
Plant? Absolutely. In general, cannabis has changed anxiety in my life completely. And specifically at that party, RSO changed my anxiety for that night.
Oh, buddy. Loftus with his
I don't think I should have said that.
Well, allegedly. It's CBD, RSO. That's what I always say. I'm like, yeah, CBD, come lock me up. Because, it's still, we fight in these battles all the time, these little mini battles that are going on in Missouri. And we feel like we're making ground. Then we feel like we're not making ground. Then we are yelling at each other because we want this to happen quicker, but it's not. And we're all kind of want the same thing. The fact that it's still federally illegal is still just some of the most mind-blowing shit of all time.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you look at the history of prohibition with alcohol, so it was a lot of the same things going on there. And shortly after half the states went on their own to legalize alcohol, that's when you really saw the trade, the flip into federal legalization. And I thought for sure once we got there with marijuana or cannabis that we would see that flip. And we're over halfway medical. There's no reason why we shouldn't see that flip, at least medically.
For sure. Like the U.S. government on a federal level can't go, over 30, about 33 with more on the way the people have declared it overwhelmingly. They're in support of it for medicinal reasons, and our federal government still has their thumb up their butt, just sitting there, and we got to sit there and smell it. I'm tired of smelling their thumb. Chris Smith says the Missouri Canna family is amazing. I'm going to read from some of our messages here. We're blowing up on the message line, Nate. No big deal. Fuck yeah, we're huggers. Said Josh Loftus, you've kissed me on the mouth like 6 times. More than I've kissed girls on the mouth. You've kissed me on the mouth. Smoking nugs and giving hugs, says Mike Stevens. I like that. That should be the name of this show. It's always my fault, isn't it? Says Josh Loftus. That RSO fugged me up, says Chris Smith. So he's okay with talking about it. We're all good. Big Pharma is the problem, says Rachel. And Craig says yes to Josh Loftus, that it's always his fault. And Missy Bliss is on here that says, everyone. Hi, everyone. Nate, I wanted to kind of get into, we're both part of like the B Team Media. We always kind of, Evolution Mag, Greenway, we're all in this kind of thing together into this little, into this little thing together. What struggles have you found in trying to just give information on cannabis to people? As far as like social media and stuff.
As as united as a community as the cannabis community is, there's always a divide, even on just small things like, do things little things like, do indicas or sativas matter, or does cannabis cure cancer? These kind of things. And it's always kind of touchy. It can be kind of hard to dive into certain subjects that go against the standard in this community or any community, which I don't really dive into too much. Most of the stuff we talk about, I mean, I talk about the easy stuff we all agree on. Licensing good, rich people bad, It keeps it simple,
Yeah. Have you?
But definitely, man. Social media is heated. It's a war zone.
Have you experienced any problems with like sharing your content with having like cannabis in your name as far as Facebook or any of that shit goes?
Yeah, Facebook is the absolute worst social media platform for cannabis. And it goes beyond channels like ours. Even people what pisses me off the most about Facebook and cannabis is that legal hemp industries, legal CBD companies, legal hemp industries that are following state law and federal law, and they're not advertising to children, they're doing all the things they're supposed to do, they get shut down on Facebook, where a lot of them are finding their biggest reach, and that is fucking bullshit. I can kind of understand where I talk about medical marijuana, and yes, there's an issue federally. Okay, I kind of get it, but I'm not, I'm trying to educate about the law. I'm trying to educate about the program. I'm trying to entertain a little bit, and I'm never going to break the law on the fucking channel. But I've been shut down quite a few times, and my page right now is on the verge of being shut down for good.
It's unbelievable. It's legal medicinally, and I understand that Facebook kind of has the right to do whatever they want to do when it comes to that. But you would hope that these tech companies would stand on the side of people who are trying to bring valuable information to the forefront. We deal with the Aubrey Strong, the Matthews family, and it is so difficult to hear John Matthews talk about, he brings up cannabis oil and the doctors can't even talk about it, because he'll bring it up as a neuroprotectant because she's going through radiation and all this other terrible shit, chemo, and he's like, what about neuroprotectant? And they're like, yeah, those are unfounded studies, and we can't. So this like kind of half-ass gag order we have on everything too, and the fact that Facebook would kind of back up that gag order, it'd be nice for a huge social media conglomerate to say, oh no, that's why we built this, so people could talk to each other and say this shit, and we don't have to censor them. But now it's become a thing where it's like, oh, he's got cannabis in his name. The algorithm said that you're a bad boy and we should never listen to you. And so what that it's, so what that you're giving people, it's bad. We are the bad boys of cannabis. Me and Nate, you're seeing it right here. This is what's happening. We got shadow here. I'll read some more messages. We got shadow banned because our logo had a DMT molecule. At the very beginning, we got shut down for trying to give away a hat and something with our shirt with a logo. And they're like, whoa, DMT. And I'm like, damn, algorithm. That's pretty good. It's not unfounded though. Missy Bliss says, fuck the man. Oh, here's the real question. We're going to get to this. Do we want to go into how much MOCAN Trade is paying us to dodge the real questions?
Sure.
What do you think about the whole MOCAN Trade thing?
It's a touchy subject.
For sure.
And I'm really trying to avoid it. My thoughts on MOCAN Trade are this. MOCAN Trade has done nothing that is surprising to me in the least bit. There are organizations that oppose things that I support, and there are organizations that support things that I oppose, and that doesn't inherently make any of them bad. MOCAN Trade is a trade organization, and they are an organization for this industry and this market. I am a patient. My thoughts on MOCAN Trade have changed a little bit. I question the authors of Amendment 2 a lot more than I question people like the full organization of someone like MOCAN Trade. Because here's the deal. You've got organizations like the Missouri State Medical Association, MSMA. The MSMA lobbied for the ban of telehealth, right? That kind of makes them, in my eyes, a shitty organization. Okay. But the MSMA has also lobbied to get an opiate tracking program in the state of Missouri and to do their best to reduce opioid deaths in the state of Missouri. So if one thing that they do makes them bad, does the other thing that they do make them an angel? You know, MOCAN Trade came out against caps. I'm for lifting the caps on bans. I know you're not supposed to call it caps. It's not really a cap, but it is a cap. That's the fucking word for it. It's a fucking cap. I'm for lifting that. MOCAN Trade came out against it, but they have their reasons. I've heard some of their reasons. But whenever that telehealth ban was going on, MOCAN Trade was in the Jeff City fighting against the telehealth ban. When the edibles bill was going on, it was MOCAN Trade that was in Jeff City fighting the edibles ban. My point on this is this. You can name one organization, any organization in this industry, whether a patient organization or big industry organization, and I have some issue with their bias. I don't know who to trust in this industry anymore, and that's the truth. I don't trust MOCAN Trade because I don't inherently trust men in suits. It's nothing inherently against MOCAN Trade. I don't trust the authors of Amendment 2 that much. I don't trust the Missouri Patients Alliance. There's some sketchy stuff going on there. I don't trust any of them. Sometimes I don't trust NORML. Sometimes I don't trust the Missouri Cannabis Industry Association. So I've decided to let all that shit not be my problem anymore. When it comes to patients, patients are the power. Patients will decide what dispensaries stay in business. Patients will decide who is successful and who is not. Even with the market having caps, there's still a lot of licenses out there. And if patients organize, patients are the power, and we can keep them honest, whoever they are.
Damn. Well, shut it down. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a good evening. Nate, that's the fucking key. It's not as cut and dry as like, well, this group is bad, this group is good, I shall rally behind them. And you hit the nail on the head with saying, well, not my boat, not my problem, or whatever that fucking little saying is. It's like that shit they can all kind of fight amongst themselves, and as the patients who are ultimately the consumers, we can choose how we want. That's one of the great things about Amendment 2 is it gives us a little bit of choice there as far as getting caregivers and growing your own. And even though I'd like to be able to grow just about as much as I want, because that's how I think a lot of weed people are, if you open the door on letting them grow, they'd be like, look at these 10-foot tree plants I got here that have giant buds, and I'm giving them to all my friends, because that's just kind of how the fucking family grows and goes and grows. But no, dude, that is so awesome. I'm glad to see the little B team media here kind of, I think there's like a kind of a unspoken thing that if you're trying to make money, you're bad. And it's like, no, that's the point of, you want to make a living. You don't want to bastardize something you love. But we're naive to think that there weren't, like you're talking about suits, like there weren't people who saw this happen in 30 other states and go, I'm going to wait for the next state to legalize and the next state and the next state until I just keep going through. And I don't care what Facebook group says what. So the power is to the patients. You'll probably come up with some clever ass Twitter thing. We'll get that shit trending real quick. Get it on the old fucking governor's desk, because that's what my man does. I'm going to read some of these comments. So true, Nate. Patients first, always, says Rachel. Absolutely. All cannabis use is beneficial. Legalize it already. 100%. Trying to make money by manipulating people is definitely bad, no doubt. Josh Loftus is talking about growing enough weed to supply the whole world, I think. So that's good. Well, people know us. We talk about cannabis all the time, but I also wanted to give everybody a little something fun about Nate and I tonight. Just a little fun, little taste of something fun. And Nate, I told we were going to pick some movies that I forget what the first topic was, but I couldn't think of any. And the topic was obviously shitty. I can't even think of the topic right now. But we went with our top 3 underrated films that we want you guys to check out. Nate, do you want to hit them with your first film? I am going to flip them over to a graphic of your film, and then you can talk about it a little bit, and then I'll bring it back to us.
Yeah, man. R.I.P.D. is one of my low-key favorite movies with Ryan Reynolds and Jeff Bridges, man. Jeff Bridges is fucking hilarious in that movie. And I don't know that it was a very popular movie, but I could watch that movie all day long. It's a comedic masterpiece.
Okay, it looks like it is the Van Wilder and Jeff Bridges here. There looks like a big what is the storyline to this? What is the
So they die. So Ryan Reynolds dies, right? And he gets a chance to redeem himself by becoming like a ghost cop. And as I said, just the plot alone sounds ridiculous.
It sounds absolutely ridiculous.
And part of it, so they got a partner. They partner him up with Jeff Bridges, who's been doing this for like 200 years, trying to get out of ghost cop school or whatever. It's like a penance. And then they can jump into other people's bodies, and like Jeff Bridges is this like smoking, sexy blonde. That's how other people see him in the world, you know. And then Ryan Reynolds is this old Asian dude smoking a cigarette. I mean, it is hilarious.
Okay, it got a 13% on the tomato meter. That's bullshit. And it looks like, let's read some of these critics' reviews. Bridges. Gorgeous and effortlessly left field, has saved many a dire film. He tries to hold the fort, but it just can't be done. 1 out of 5 rating. It's billed as a supernatural action adventure comedy, but its laughs are almost non-existent. Its action depends on seeing it all before CGI trickery, and much of its plot defies comprehension. That makes me want to watch it. That actually makes me want to watch it.
You really should.
Oh, hold on. Let me bring your picture back up. I got so many things going here. There you are. You're back up. Okay, so people, if you haven't seen R.I.P.D., I will actually watch that because movies like that always get shitty reviews. The critics are like, this is dog shit. And I'm like, I'm not trying to watch fucking Citizen Kane right now. I'm trying to go to sleep with an easy bullshit comedy action. I love a good comedy action flick. All right, I'm going to drop you my first one here. Let me go ahead and minimize this and click up. My first movie is something a little bit sentimental. It's called Saint Ralph. I think it's actually a really good movie, but no one knows about it. So maybe not necessarily underrated. I think critics would probably, let's see what the ratings are on this. But it's about a little kid who like goes to a Catholic school, like kind of like a Catholic boarding school in Canada, and his mom's dying of cancer. See, he has a 64% on Rotten Tomatoes, so that's not horrible. But his mom has cancer, and his good Catholic faith tells him that one of his teachers says you have to perform a miracle. It'll take a miracle to save your mom, and so his miracle is he wants to run the Boston Marathon and win the Boston Marathon. So he trains with this teacher, and everyone's like, you can't do it. You can't do it. You can't. And then eventually at the end of the movie, you're like, holy shit, this 13-year-old kid is going to win the fucking Boston Marathon. And he has, he doesn't remember his parents. He remembers his mom because his mom is dying of cancer, and he doesn't remember his dad. The last thing he remembers about his dad is him in a Santa suit. So at one point during the race, he doesn't think he can go on anymore, and he's like barely running, and he sees his dad in a Santa suit running alongside, and he's going, come on, son, you can do it. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to get up and run with him. So exactly. So it's a feel-good movie. I would definitely give it a whirl if you want to shed a tear with a loved one. All right, let's go to your next one. It's Godfather 3. What can you tell me about this glorious film? Because 1 and 2 get all of the accolades.
Oh my, yeah, I know. And then Godfather 3 gets all of the shit. I think it's the most hated, hands down. But it's a good movie. I mean, you get to see Michael all old. Name one movie Al Pacino was in that Al Pacino wasn't fucking great. You can't name one. I don't think you can name one. Maybe that one where he's in Alaska and he's a serial killer that can't sleep. I mean, that was kind of a shitty movie. But
that wasn't. I didn't actually think that one was too bad. Was Robin Williams in that one too, or some shit? Or he was in a movie kind of like that?
Yeah, He was the killer. He was the killer.
That was him? Yeah, I
think.
remember. I rented that shit, dude. Hold on. Let's see what movies he's been in.
Yeah.
And I guarantee Al Pacino's been in some. Oh, Scarface is a dog shit movie. I didn't. Dude, Serpico's. Serpico's one of the greatest movies of all time. So. Oh, he's in Jack and Jill. I forgot about that. The movie with Adam Sandler when he's in love with Adam Sandler when he's playing a girl.
Yeah, okay.
Oh no, I actually like that one. Hey,
yeah, there you go.
The Godfather 3 has a 69 tomato meter rating, and
I'm surprised.
Yeah, the audience likes it at 78%. So it's about like Saint Ralph. The film is a slow fuse with a big bang, one that echoes through every family whose own tragedy is an aching for things past and loved ones lost. Wow, that's a deep review. Damn.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I will probably never check out. I'll never check out The Godfather 3, I don't think, because I don't know if I've ever seen Godfather 2. I watched Godfather 1 and Scarface in the same night, and I couldn't believe how much better Godfather was than Scarface. But I was like done with it forever after that night. I'm like, I can't do any more of these movies ever again. It's too much. Hey, over here. All right. My next one is a Farrelly Brothers movie, I believe, and it's called Outside Providence. It has Amy Smart and Alec Baldwin. Have you ever seen that movie?
I want to say that I have.
Yeah, it's got a 51 on the Rotten Tomatoes. I feel like it should have gotten more accolades because it's right up there with all the Dumb and Dumbers and kind of that shit. I mean, no, that was a little bit before its time. Yeah, it is Dumb and Dumber, Kingpin, Something About Mary, Outside Providence. So it's Peter Farrelly. It was published in 1988, so I guess it was. What the hell? No, that movie didn't come out. It fucking came out in 99 in movies. I don't know. This is fucking... Amy Smart looks good in it, so how long ago is that? Fucking God knows.
Amy Smart looks good in anything.
Thank you.
Well, probably not in a selfie now, but...
Yeah, who knows? We probably need some more adrenochrome or something with all those bastards. I'm not going there, Nate. I'm not doing it. But in this movie, the kid, he's like a 16, 17-year-old kid, gets sent to boarding school. His dad is what's his face? I just said his name. Alec Baldwin. And he's kind of a dickhead. And at one point during the movie, he has a friend named Drugs. And Drugs writes him a letter at school, but he just addresses it.
Me too.
Yeah. He just addresses it to the school. And so the head warden reads it out loud to the kid, and it is fucking one of the best scenes in movie history. And Drugs has a couple really good scenes in that. So if you haven't seen Outside Providence, check out Outside Providence. Now your next movie is one of my jams. Why don't you tell them what your next one is?
Yeah, definitely my favorite of almost all-time movies. That's The Fifth Element. The Fifth Element is one of my hands-down favorite movies. I don't know if it was very popular. I don't think that it was. But, I mean, there is no part of Fifth Element that I don't enjoy.
Damn, it's got a 71 on the tomato meter and a 87% from the crowd. The crowd loves it. Good. It's a great movie, man. I don't really understand.
It warms my heart.
I don't know if I understand the exact storyline of it. Now that I'm rethinking it, I don't think I could explain the storyline to someone. But I do thoroughly enjoy the movie, and I mean. Who is it? Mila Jovovich? Is that the girl who's in it?
Mila Jovovich, yeah.
Yeah, how old?
Bruce Willis.
I mean, this came out in 1997. I was...
That's the first thing I remember her in.
I was 15 years old. I mean, this is a very, very informative time for old Stevie boy. So, yeah.
That's a great movie, man. Every 300 years, evil comes back to the earth, and you got to stop it, and you got to get the 5 elements.
Oh, is that the storyline?
Stop that evil every 300 years. Yeah, that's the plot. I mean, that's the skin of it.
I remember too, Chris Tucker, like having a real crazy role because I was a big Chris Tucker fan. All right, and then we'll hit him with my last movie here. Have you ever seen Clifford, the movie with Martin Short? where he plays a
I'm
young
not sure.
He plays a young boy.
Man, I wish I could see your screen.
Dude, in 1994, Martin Short plays here. I can look up a picture of Clifford, and he plays a young boy. I don't know, maybe 10 years old, and he's an old man. Fucking Martin Short is.
He was old in the 90s.
Exactly. So I don't know if you can see that. If that.
I don't know. I've never seen that. There's the dad from everything in the early 90s.
Yes, Charles. He was in Beethoven, the dad from Beethoven. Charles Grodin and Mary Steenburgen or whatever, the chick who was from everything in those times. You would recognize her too. Martin Short plays a child, and it's about the most ridiculous thing. And I mean, everyone else in the movie just goes along with that. He's a child. And it's unbelievable that now Rotten Tomatoes is not. It gave it a 10%. So this is definitely an underrated movie. That is the shittiest. 60. The audience gave it a 67. So fuck them. He plays a 10-year-old boy. It's told in a flashback that. Because he's like an old priest, and he tells this story about when he was a young boy that he wanted to go to like Dinosaur World or something. It's the stupidest shit of all time, dude. It's so good. You got to see it. Oh, all right. You're back on camera. I'm in trouble here. I've never heard of it. I'm reading some of the comments. Same chick from Dazed and Confused. Yes, Mila Jovovich. Clifford is hilarious. Greg Puller says, act like a real boy. Charles Grodin kills me in that movie. He is. Nate, check out all of those movies. I'll check out 2 of yours, even though I will watch The Fifth Element almost any damn time.
You should watch The Godfather 3 too. Just drop an edible and remove 3 hours from your life.
That's what I don't have 3 hours of my life. I can't
I mean,
get away.
Ears get bitten off. It's crazy. It's a crazy movie.
Really? Okay, that's kind of okay.
Yeah.
Now you've intrigued me.
Evander Holyfield. Yeah.
Now you've intrigued me. There's a Tyson fight in the middle. Do you have any parting words for our audience viewers at home? What do you want to say to them?
I do, man. Just, love, peace, and cannabis. I'm not interested in fighting right now. I mean, I'm interested in some love and moving forward to the year we thought this was. It's hard, but I think we can do it, and I hope we can.
Hell yeah, dude. I just want to say thanks to Nate. I've seen Nate at the events, and Nate is in it for the right reasons, and he's doing a shit ton of work on his own to produce content. Like, I don't want to fucking embarrass you or anything, but Craig and I have each other to lean on all the time, and you're fucking doing this thing. I mean, solo mission style. I know you got a support system at home and all that good stuff, but man, it's tough to do what you do with all the editing and video shooting, and you make it look easy. We make it look easy, and I don't think people understand how difficult it really is to talk to your computer.
Yeah, I get nervous too. I get nervous like I'm looking at a crowd, and I'm really just looking at a little webcam. It scares the shit out of me as soon as the lights come on.
Dude, I thought about putting like a picture around the webcam to just make me at ease, like it's a puppy or something, and you're just looking in the puppy's eye, like, oh.
That's genius. That's not bad. I might try that.
All right, we'll end it there. He called me a genius. They said, thanks for a great show. Wise words from Nate. This is a masterpiece. Oh, no, he's talking about Godfather 2, not us. Never mind. You're a gem, Nate. All right, guys, Missouri, patience. It's all about you guys. We just do what we do for you guys, and, let's support each other. Nate, thanks for joining me, and I'm going to go ahead and hit stop now. See you guys later.